Hello, welcome to Jade Coloring. This is going to be the color along for the month of November, and it's going to be in A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. I tried to do something a little bit different this time and created like a color palette that I thought would be fun to try out on this page. And I went ahead and wrote in all the colors because even though I recognize them, on down the road I would probably forget which color was which. And so I just kind of wrote them out, to each of the circles. The main color palette is going to be like parrot green, aquamarine, true green, pale vermilion, and orchid. And then there's the color number on each one, and then blush pink, light aqua, and gray green. I think it's gray green light, but I ran out of room. Is going to be kind of like accent colors or highlights. And then for like a really good contrast color and kind of a darker tone is the cobalt turquoise, and it's that one right there. But I thought it would be fun to try something different. I'm sorry if you can hear any faint noise in the background. As soon as I sat down to do the color along filming, my neighbors are having like a bonfire, so there's a little bit of music, but I think it's faint enough where you probably won't even hear it, but I can just hear it very faintly. But I thought this was a super cute page. I really like it. It's kind of like a Loch Ness monster, I guess, and I like that it's not a very big image, but there's a lot of detail packed into it, so I know it's going to take me longer than I think it will. But to start things off with, I'm going to go in with parrot green and just work on the biggest part of the page, which is the monster. And I'm kind of drawing inspiration from, because she's got one on the front cover, and I tried to take a little bit of inspiration from her like art from the cover too, kind of pick colors that were kind of bright and vibrant. I thought it would be kind of cute. But yeah, I'm going to start out with parrot green. Find a good place for that. I'll go back and when I'm editing and notice that I'm covering up the tag sometimes. I don't mean to, so if I do, I'm sorry. But I generally like to start with the darkest colors sometimes, so we're going to start with the parrot green. And if I go over some of those spots, it's not a big deal because I'm going to make those green as well, so I think it'll kind of be fine if I do kind of get a little bit of green on them. And I'm going to attempt to make this part of the monster a little bit lighter since it's above the water, and then this part kind of a little bit darker. I don't know. I thought maybe that would be, I guess it's probably a nighttime scene because there's stars obviously in the sky, but there's also planets too, so who knows what's going on here. But yeah, so many cute pages to choose from in this book, it's kind of hard to pick. I think I've already gotten 2 finished pages in the Million Little Monsters, which is pretty good for me. I'm just kind of adding this along the edge. just taking the parrot green and going kind of up under the eye a little. I took a small break from filming because I thought maybe my neighbors would eventually tire of their bonfire, but it didn't happen. And it's going to be a pretty busy week, so I was really wanting to sit down and film. I guess I could have made it a silent one, but I'm probably being self-conscious about the noise in the background for nothing, because you probably can't even hear it, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to concentrate on the face and just kind of taking a little bit more of a darker layer of the parrot green around the edge. A little bit more along the back of the head here. Parrot green is one of my favorite green colors in the Prismacolor set. And this is Prismacolors, by the way, if I didn't say that already. I have a terrible habit not telling y'all what brand of pencil I'm using. Okay, so I got that laid down, and I want to go in with True Green. And it's a pretty bright green, but I'm thinking that it'll work together. So I'm just going to go in with the True Green and kind of start where I left off with the parrot green, kind of working my way down. I didn't want to go in too dark with the parrot green yet before I kind of laid down this True Green, and then after that I'll kind of build up the two colors until, you know, it looks kind of how I want it to. Just kind of trial and error, you know, especially when first starting a page. Don't know what color I'm going to do the horn here. Just trying to put a light layer of True Green. Again, it's looking pretty cute so far. And I'll probably just show y'all how I'm doing this section of the head, and then I'll probably finish the rest of the body off camera. That way I don't, you know, spend too much time on one thing. Kind of, that way we can progress a little bit further on the video. Quite a lot of area to cover for the face here and the neck. And I'm just kind of mapping out my colors and getting them laid down as best I can. And just kind of working my way around the spots that are here on the back and around the neck area. Go ahead and lay a layer of the true green on kind of the furry looking part under here. Okay, I'm going to go back in with parrot green. Kind of working my way around again, kind of darkening up certain areas and blending those two colors in a little bit more. Just a little at a time. I think I might go in with gray green light for kind of blending them for like the final pass, you know. We're trying to make everything look a little smoother. A little bit of shadow underneath the neck or the kind of chin part here. kind of want to take the side of the pencil and bring this down a little bit further into the center of everything, just to kind of feather out the edges of that parrot green so it doesn't look quite so harsh, you know, up against the true green, and kind of create that blended effect. So I'm just using a lot less pressure when I use the side of the pencil there. Just going in little circular motions. Okay, so next, true green. I just want to add a little bit more of that before I do the last part of blending them all together. I'm just kind of doing the same thing. I'm just trying to build up the intensity of those colors and also at the same time kind of blend them together. Just kind of brighten up everything. Just kind of working my way around the areas where I laid down the parrot green, and then kind of slowly going toward the center of the two like kind of sections that I've mapped out with the colors. Okay, I'm really liking that. I think it looks pretty good. Trying to keep it, you know, as simple as possible. But I do think I want to go in with the gray-green light. I just think it'll add a nice little kind of finishing touch. And maybe kind of blend those all together a little bit more. Oh, sorry. It's not a very bright color, but it does have, like, you know, a greenish tone to it. So I'm not going to be using a whole lot of pressure. Just trying to smooth out like certain parts kind of around the center areas. Where all the colors meet here. Just create a little bit of a highlight. I think for the spots, I'm just going to go over them with the gray-green light. Okay, I got a lot of the body done that's above the water, and so the next thing I want to work on is, it's got like kind of a furry, like hair, like stuff underneath its chin here. I'm going to take the cobalt turquoise and kind of start adding the shadow to that. And I'm kind of starting at the end where the hair kind of separates, you know, with the line art. And kind of under the chin with the darker color, kind of create a shadow there. Nothing too major, you know, just having fun with this one. Not spending a ton of time on it. It is something I need to work on because I do want to spend forever on everything. So I'm just trying to, you know, get the color down. Kind of add a little bit here on the edges. And really, I'm just kind of haphazardly scribbling it all around that. And I guess the next color I want to go in with is aquamarine. Just a nice kind of greeny blue color. Kind of break up that green, the parrot green that we used for the main part of the body. Just kind of adding it, a touch of this in there. And then finally I'm going to go in with gray-green light to kind of blend those together. That way I can bring in a little bit of the greenish tint to it. Take a little bit of the blue out, add a little green back in. Just really having fun with, I'm trying to use the limited color palette, but I know I'll probably end up getting a few colors because I can't help myself, but for now it's fun, kind of challenging myself to just use these few colors. And if you want to go back in with the cobalt turquoise, kind of a darker color, to kind of add a little more definition back and make it kind of look a little bit more hair-like, you can go kind of up underneath each section, add a little bit more of that cobalt turquoise. I think that looks great. And add this up here to kind of the horn. Small area, so kind of sharpened up the pencil. And I might go in with aquamarine. And I'm just going to take white and kind of blend those together. Kind of in the middle of all those colors. For the portion of the monster that's below the water line here, I'm going to try to make it look a little bit darker and less bright. So I'm going to go in with aquamarine and just start kind of shading up around the edges. I don't want to hold like a super lot of the aquamarine, but just a little bit to add kind of a little bit more depth and darkness. Kind of show you on this little fin here, taking this around the edges, kind of over by the water. And then I want to go in with parrot green. And again, I'm trying to keep it simple still. I'm starting where I laid down the aquamarine around the edges and then making my way closer in, further in to the center. But it just makes it look a little bit darker. I hope I didn't have that out of the screen. I am terrible about doing that. Just a nice even layer. And really kind of using a whole lot less pressure as I go toward the center of the fin. Okay, taking true green and adding that on top of everything. Kind of starting around the edges, just trying to soften those up. I misplaced one of the tags. Okay, so the final step, I'm just going to go in with gray, green, light and try to kind of blend everything together, kind of smooth it out. That's all I'm doing, and hopefully it looks a little bit darker than the top part, but still similar. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the body underneath the water, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, I got the rest of the body done. I really like the variation of colors. That this one's a little bit darker. It's not overpoweringly dark, but it does kind of give the illusion that he's kind of underwater, I guess. At least this is what I was going for. And I thought, since I feel like I didn't really go over very well when I did the kind of dots on the upper part of the body, I was going to do these. I just took light aqua and kind of added that into the little circles, or scales, whatever these would be called, I don't know. Just a little light layer, nothing too major, just kind of scribbled it in there. And then I'm going in with gray, green, light, just to kind of add a little bit of a lighter color. And really that's all I'm doing for those. Sorry, my markers are kind of making a little bit of a noise. And that's all I'm going to do for that part. I do think it would be kind of nice to maybe give a little bit of an eye color for the eye, but I'm not really sure what I want to do for the eye. It would be kind of fun to kind of break up the green with orchid, just like a little spot of that, and just trace the pupil. I think I'm going to go in with white just to kind of touch up around that ever so slightly. Just kind of going around the outside. And a little bit on those kind of circles in the middle. But I think that looks really cute. It's just like a little touch of purple. I have pale vermilion, and I thought it would be interesting to kind of go in with that for the, it's probably supposed to be like seaweed or something, but I kind of want to break up the blues and the greens. So I'm going to try going in with pale vermilion and kind of see how that's looking. This is one of my favorite orange colors in the Prismacolor set. And very lightly adding this to the center. And then I think to kind of go in the middle of that, to kind of break up the orange, I'm going to go in with blush pink. Just go in the center here. I think it looks really good. So I'm just going to take these two colors and work on kind of this stuff underneath here. Maybe sharpen. Get into some smaller areas here. And a light layer kind of all over. Then taking blush pink, just kind of adding that in there. I really like it. It looks different, you know, but I also really like the pop of color kind of underneath the water to kind of, so everything doesn't get kind of blue and green colors. It's kind of, this one kind of follows down up under the little sea creatures. I moved my alcohol markers back on my desk because it's convenient to have them kind of close by, but sometimes they kind of get a little rattly when I'm coloring on my desk. And it kind of follows down. It's kind of hard to tell. I guess there's just a whole bunch of it in this one little area. So I'm just going to try my best to figure out what is what. I think it kind of goes maybe that way too. Further out than I thought. Maybe that's the bottom, and this kind of part here is just going to be like water. It's a cute little seal. Or I don't know what that would be called actually, but I think seal, or maybe it's a walrus. I don't know. Oh, sorry. Get ahead of myself a little bit. And I'm taking blush pink. Just blending it out, smoothing it out a little bit. But yeah, I really like that color. I think it looks really cool. I'm just going to continue to do the kind of seaweedy type plants or things down here on the bottom, and then we'll move on to something else. I picked out the colors I want to do for the water, and I tried to mostly use colors that I have picked out for the palette already, but I did go in with an extra one. This is Sky Blue Light, and I kind of wanted to give this a try, kind of add a lighter blue into the water, and hopefully it won't look too much like the Loch Ness Monster. So kind of play around with the colors a little bit and see how I like it. I might end up going back in with a little bit of a bluer color, but I guess we'll just start with the cobalt turquoise and see how that goes. I want it to be darker kind of around the bottom part of the circle, so I am going to take that cobalt turquoise and run it along the bottom part. And kind of up around the seaweed plant stuff at the bottom. I'll probably do the bubbles later. I'm still kind of deciding what I want to do with those. Take the lightest amount of the cobalt turquoise for kind of underneath the kind of wavy part of the water. Okay, so I want to try, well, need a little bit more of the cobalt right in here. I'll kind of work on this section and see how it goes. I'm very happy with the way the orange turned out. It's a pretty nice color. I sometimes have to remind myself that not all plants and like vegetation has to be green. It can be different colors, especially in a Lulu Mayo book. It's kind of fun to play around with, you know, different ones. I don't know what color to color the fish yet either. Okay, got a good amount of that laid down. So the next color I'm going to go in with is light aqua. I just had the tag. There it is. So we got light aqua, and I'm going to start kind of with that darker cobalt color, going over it and then making my way kind of further in. Over the top here. I don't color water very often, so it's fun to play around with coloring this. I'm trying to color more than just portraits. I seem to kind of fall into the habit of grabbing portrait books, with nothing wrong with that, but it's fun to do other things like this one. I've really been liking coloring in this Million Little Monsters book. And it's working out pretty good. I like that, you know, it doesn't really match the sea monster very much, so that's a plus. And it's okay if I get it on the fish or the bubble, because it is kind of all up underneath the water, so a little bluish tint to some things doesn't hurt. And just kind of going back and forth, building up that color. I've had so much fun starting this page. It's fun to go into it with a color palette in mind. Most of the time I do kind of pick out pencils before I start on most pages. I just never actually, you know, plan it out quite as much as I did this one. Go down a little further. I kind of forget that there's like little sections of water showing. Okay. I do want to add the smallest amount of parrot green just to give it like a green shimmer. Or I don't know, don't know if it'll really look shimmery, but to add a touch of green in there. Because it is a nice blue-green color. So I'm just going to take this with a very light hand and kind of using the side of the pencil to kind of add that hint of green in the water. And just kind of random areas almost. Kind of take it a little bit along the line here. And kind of going down. Trying to decide. I might do just a little bit more with the cobalt turquoise. Just kind of, adding a little bit here and there until I'm kind of happy with it. Try not to get it on in the orange, but still getting a little bit on it. Just want to do one more kind of darkening with the cobalt. And then maybe just one more with light aqua as well. And then I promise I'll be done. I could just, go touching up something here or there sometimes for a good 30 minutes. And it doesn't seem like 30 minutes should have passed, but time does kind of go by fast when I'm coloring sometimes. I'm just kind of adding this back in, creating a little bit more blue to it, and blending all those colors together, softening those transitions in between all of the blue colors and the green, the parrot green. Kind of up under here. I'm going to try to make the waves look good, but I've never actually, at least I don't remember coloring any kind of waves very much. But I'll figure it out, hopefully. So I'm done with those colors, and I'm going to go in with Sky Blue Light. Now this isn't part of that color palette I created, but I feel like I need to add this in there. Hopefully it doesn't look weird. But just kind of, I like using the color palette as a guide, but I'm still probably going to branch out with some complementary colors, to kind of help tie everything together. And just going in an up and down motion, kind of up and down and circular, I'm blending all these colors together with the Sky Blue Light. Trying my best to go around the fish. I am kind of going over the bubbles a little more than I intended, but they're kind of hard to avoid. That one's easy to kind of go around, it's a little bigger. Go all the way down to kind of the darker color, kind of work my way up. I really like how that turned out. I think it looks pretty much how I imagined it would. Nice, just, you know, watercolor, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the water. I got the water finished and I think it looks really cool. I like how all those colors are, you know, turning out. Now I was kind of playing around with some gel pens. I did this fish with this like sparkly jelly roll. I think this was maybe the Stardust, if that's a thing. It doesn't really have a name, so it's a really sparkly purple gel pen. So I thought that would be fun to add a little bit of glitter and at the same time kind of, you know, coloring a space that doesn't have a whole lot of room, but just using purple or anything would work out too. And then I kind of went over a lot of the bubbles that are kind of under there already when I was doing the water. So I thought maybe if I just kind of took a white gel pen and outlined them with that maybe that would be good enough. But we'll see. I'm just going to go through and color the little fish. There's just like 3 over here. I just fill them in with this sparkly gel pen. I always forget I have gel pens. But I thought this would be the perfect little touch up against the blue of the water. Okay, so I did all the fish. And I was thinking I'm gonna go in with True Green and just add a little bit of that into the bubbles just to kind of make them stand out a little bit more. So get it sharp. So I'm just going to very gently add that to the bubble. It's a nice bright color. That one I kind of really covered up, but the ones that I didn't cover up as much, I'm just going to add this True Green to it. Like that one. And then I'm going to go in with white and just go over that. Just a little. Don't know if it did anything, but I feel like it kind of makes them stand out a little bit more. And so I'm just going to take white gel pen. This is a white jelly roll, and hopefully it will work. I'm just going to very not neatly, but kind of just outline these bubbles. And it's not working very well, so I'm just gonna make do. I don't want it to be so, you know, white, but I'm trying to make it a little bit of a thinner line, but it's not really working. So just kind of try my best. Just enough to kind of cover up those black lines. I don't know if it looks good. I feel like it kind of looks a little weird. Okay, well, I think that's good enough. I don't know if I made it look like just a bunch of random white dots in the water, and I maybe should have left them alone. It's hard to tell. I think I'm going to go over those with light aqua because I kind of don't like them all that much. Just kind of take down that white color a little bit. The ones that I had done earlier kind of set a little longer, so they're not really, I don't know. See, this is what happens when I try different mediums. Sometimes it just doesn't work out for me. But I think I kind of made it look a little better. This is going to be the end of part 1. I'm not quite sure how many parts it will take me to do this page. It's a busy page, but it is on the smaller side, thankfully. I know I keep kind of switching up my color alongs, but I'm just trying to find what works best for me. I think what I'm going to do for at least this one is when I, finish working on it, then I'm going to edit it and then post it instead of posting them all at once. I don't know if I ever really post them all at once, but I can't remember now. I do something different every month, so it's kind of hard to keep track, but I'm sorry if, that's confusing. But yeah, I think I'm going to just, work on them and then post them. And hopefully it won't take too many parts, but I had a really good time starting this page. I love how all the colors are tying together, and I can't wait to get started on the next parts. But thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, bye.